Well, hey guys, got a comparison video for you today, and I am bringing back the Cambridge Diadem ESV in black calfskin, newly released by Cambridge. Got this on evangelicalbible.com. You can find a link in the description below to pick this Bible up. And I'm going to be comparing it to the Schuyler Quentel ESV translation in black goatskin. Now, if you're familiar with Cambridge and you're familiar with Skyler, you know that both now have a three-tiered Bible system going on. And so for Cambridge, you've got the pit minion as the travel size. You've got now the diadem as the medium size, and the wide margin as the large size, of course, with wide margins. With the Quentel, you've got the PSQ, the personal size Quentel, the standard Quentel, and the Quentel wide margin. And so there's benefits to having all three. And there's a video that I posted on the comparison video of the PSQ, the Quentel, and the wide margin, as well as a video on the pit minion, the diadem, and the wide margin for Cambridge that you can check out. Now, the reason I wanted to compare these Bibles is because they both fall in the same category as the medium-sized Bibles in their class. Of course, the diadem is right between the pit minion and the wide margin, and the Quentel is right between the PSQ, personal size Quentel, and the wide margin. And so, in a sense, these two Bibles are the exact same for their company or their model, I guess I could say. And so I want to compare them today for you guys. Now, I want to go over the prices and the differences in the cover first, and then we'll get into the inside of the Bible. And I hope that this video helps you in determining which line of Bibles you wanna spend the money on. So, starting with the Cambridge Diadem, this, as I mentioned, is in a black calfskin cover. It does not have raised hubs. It's got tooled hubs, and it is perimeter stitched. Now, the Schuyler Quentel is in goatskin, and it does have the Jerusalem cross, and it has raised hubs, so on and so forth. Now, the price differences of these Bibles: this Cambridge Diadem is $221 on evangelicalbible.com, whereas the Quentel, I believe, is right around the $200 mark. So the Cambridge Diadem is more expensive than the Quentel. And I would say, guys, price-wise, the Quentel wins. You've got goat skin, you've got raised hubs, it's a little bit bigger, there's more to it. The Cambridge Diadem is calfskin, a very nice calfskin, I might add, but no raised hubs. The ribbons in the Skyler are Beresford. The ribbons in the Cambridge are just your double-sided satin Cambridge ribbons, pretty basic. So guys, price-wise, the Skyler wins. The Cambridge is very expensive. Not too sure why it's $220 for being a calfskin Bible. It makes me wonder what the goatskin edition would cost. So again, if you're looking for price, Quentel is the way you want to go. You're going to save $20. You're going to get more. Now, looking at the covers, both covers are very soft and very flexible. This has the black calfskin. There's not much of a grain as far as texture goes. As far as texture goes on the Quentel, there is a little bit of a grainy texture, but you get goat skin. Now, opening them up, you're going to get on the Cambridge a synthetic polymer liner. So this is not real leather, although it looks like it is. And this is very common in the Clarion and the wide margin. It's very durable, don't get me wrong. It's just not leather. Now, you will see that the corners are done nicely. This is an edge-line Bible. Looking at the Schuyler Quentel, you get a calfskin inner liner. So this is real leather. And then you've got the gold gilding around the perimeter of the inside liner, and of course some nice corner work as well. And then it is edge lined. So as far as this portion of the Bibles, I would say that Skyler wins as well. It's cheaper. You get real leather on the inside, and you get the gold gilding on the outside, whereas you don't get either on the Cambridge. So that's that. Now looking at the information page to find out where these Bibles were printed and bound and so on and so forth. The Diadem was printed and bound in the Netherlands by Royal Youngblood. The paper is supplied by France. This is a typeset of 8.2 on 8.5 lexicon font. Looking at the Schuyler, this is printed and bound by Royal Youngblood in the Netherlands as well. Now, I don't know what kind of paper this is. I do know it is from France, I do believe. So the paper is very good quality on both Bibles. Looking at the text block itself, we'll go to the book of Isaiah in both Bibles. Okay, so here we are in the book of Isaiah. Now you will notice that there's some differences in the text block. The Cambridge Diadem has a double column paragraph format. Now Isaiah is verse by verse because it's in the poetic and prophetic section, but generally it is paragraph format with a reference suite down here in the center column with 2 lines dividing the text columns. And so for some people, they really love this because it's very easy to read. 8.5 font, and then the reference suite is mirroring the portions of Scripture. Whereas on the Skyler, you do get a double column format, but the cross-reference suite is down here at the bottom. And it is the verse numbers are in red, so they stand out quite a bit more. Now this is an 11-point font, so this is a lot bigger than the 8.5 in the Cambridge. So for people who love a large size font, I would say the Schuyler Quentel is for you. For people who love the cross-reference suite down the center, the Cambridge might be for you. Now, as far as personal preference, I would say that the Schuyler wins as far as layout goes. I used to use the Cambridge pit minion and wide margin very frequently, and I do love the layout, but I've really fallen in love with the Schuyler Bible layout because for me, the cross-reference suite, there's just too much going on the page. Whereas Schuyler, all you've got in this 3/4 of the page is the text. And so if you want to go down to the cross-references, you can just make a beeline down there, but you don't have to see them up in the text, and it doesn't distract me. So I would personally say that the Schuyler has a better layout. So that is 3 points for Schuyler, no points for Cambridge. Now paper-wise, they're both on a 28 GSM paper, I believe. I might take that back. I may be wrong, but it seems like the Cambridge paper just feels a little bit thicker than the Schuyler. I may be wrong on that, but that's what it feels like to me. So if that's the case, I would give the paper to Cambridge. I do like a thinner paper, but I also like it to be very durable, and it seems that this is a little bit more durable than the Schuyler. Now, don't get me wrong, the Schuyler paper is very, very durable. It takes writing and highlighting very well. This just seems a little bit thicker. Now, of course, the ribbons, I'm going to give it to Schuyler. Beresford versus your typical tacky, not tacky, but just insufficient Cambridge ribbons, not the best. Moving forward, you've got a very strong concordance in the Schuyler, and it's highlighted in red, whereas the concordance in the Cambridge is also 3-column, but it's black, and the text is, I would say, just a little bit bigger than the Schuyler. So concordance-wise, I would give it to Cambridge. I feel like the Cambridge concordance has a little bit more content than the Schuyler as well. Moving forward, the cool thing about Schuyler is you get some nice maps. And of course you get maps in most Bibles, but this Bible has the ministry of Jesus. So it talks about the different places he was and all of that. And then you also get the index to maps. Now this index to maps is not as extensive as you get in the Cambridge. So here's the Cambridge index. It's quite a few pages long. And then the maps are on a glossy cardstock. So if you love maps and map indexes, I would give the vote to Cambridge. So right now, Skyler's sitting at 4. Cambridge is sitting at 2 as far as rating goes, in my opinion. Moving on to the back, you do get quite a lot of empty pages. About 8 or 9 pages of cardstock that you can write on in the Schuyler. In the Cambridge here, you get about 3. So you have 1 page here, 1 page there, and then this page right here, and then that's the end of it. So back of the Bible, writing space, I would give to Schuyler. So Schuyler wins, in my opinion, as far as the innards. It has a rating of 5 to 2. Now, getting back to the outside of the Bible, I want to end this with the size comparisons. So again, these Bibles are middle class in their line of Bibles, and as far as the size goes, the Diadem has more of a square shape, whereas the Quentel has more of a vertical rectangle shape. Now, the thickness of the Diadem is about 1 inch thick. The Quentel is, I would say, probably about 1.5 inches thick. So it's quite a bit thicker. The Quentel is quite a bit thicker than the Diadem. And you'll also notice it's quite a bit taller than the Diadem. And so for some people, the Schuyler is quite too big to carry around for everyday use. And that's what this Quentel is made for. The PSQ, of course, is for traveling and, trips and all that, and everyday carry, but the Quentel itself is also made for everyday carry. You're not going to carry the wide margin of either of these Bibles as your everyday Bible. But as far as portability, I would say that the vote easily goes to Cambridge. This Bible is thin. It's like a thin line. It's rather small. Here's a Pitt Minion compared to the Diadem, and the PSQ is about the same size as the Pitt Minion. So it's not too much bigger than the Pitt Minion as far as height goes. So this is a very portable Bible. I plan on using this every day for the next month to see how I like it. But generally, the Quentel is my everyday carry. Now, I will say this, that if you give yourself some time with the Quentel, it will become a very portable Bible for you. It might be hard getting used to it at first because it is heavier. It's probably about 3 or 4 pounds. The Diadem's probably about 2.5 pounds. So this is a heavier Bible, but if you carry this around for a week, I promise you're going to get used to it. It won't be an issue. So guys, that's it. I would say overall the Quentel wins in this line as far as mid-range or mid-sized Bibles, but there are a lot of benefits to having the Diadem by Cambridge. I'll do this. I will link the description in the link below, or I'm sorry, I'll put a link in the description below to both of these Bibles so that you can purchase one or the other. Until next time, guys, God bless.